Hey guys, Prometheus here, back with some more Warno, playing a 4v4 on Rock, I believe it is. I don't know the name of the maps all the time, but it is a 4v4. We're playing on red on the Soviet side. The 35th have a VDV set up. We'll see how this works. Joe's playing with the Berliner Gruppierung. Bartok's playing with the 27th. And Oddball is playing with the 119th. On the other side, Berlin Command, well, how that's sorted up is Joe's on the left. Oddball is to our immediate left in Foxtrot. We are taking the middle in Delta and helping out Bartok and Hotel. Bartok has Hotel and the rest of the map. Opposing us, Spy is the Berlin Command, so he is going to be on the right side. Aethel with the 3rd. He's going to be working more in the middle here through Bravo and Foxtrot. Caddy is playing with the 11th Infantry Division Parachutiste. He's going to be in the middle here. And then Madman Pete with the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment will be on the far left side. So our plan here is, of course, to cap these points as the forward deployed unit of the team. I think Joe has a little bit of forward deployment, but not much. Maybe Oddball has some. A little bit. But essentially what we're going to do is I wanted to push all the way up here, but with Caddy having a forward deployed unit as well, we weren't going to be able to take that. So in that, we're cut down the line here, and we will have a bunch of ATGMs to close down this field and then essentially help Bartok on the right. A lot of units on the field, so we're going to definitely go on our perspective and we'll kind of flip around, but this is going to be the idea. So let us go through and let's make sure it's on 1. We'll hide the panel. So we're going to take this first point. Pretty much we start in it, so it's a pretty easy one for us. And then we're going to move up to take at this point up here. Aircraft coming in. It is the Eagle. Shot in with the Su-27. Eagle still going here. Massive push though, MiG-29s. We bring in our MiG-29s. We run him off, but we think, hey, here's the Harrier. We end up seeing the Gazelle cannons from Caddy coming in here, and we start getting shot at. The good thing though with this Akula should be able to handle all of these, even with the Gatling. So we're going to push it up. We don't want these to get even remotely close to our lines. So Akula comes in, takes a shot, misses the first one. Second one hits, next one hits. The Akula from here doesn't have any more. It starts shooting with its gun. Shot here. And then the Gazelle cannons will make work with the last shot here. So unfortunately we lose that, but what it allows us to do is get up into space, get the Strellas up. Strella's taking shots. We bring our MiG-29s in, hit the first one, and that Strela misses. Strela misses again. Shot comes in from Bartok Strela, hits it. Our MiG-29 goes down, trying to still kill this. Our BTRRDs come in. We got this one. I forgot to pull it back. I feel dumb now. I feel dumb for not pulling that one back. I did not notice. That's why we end up having only 1 Conquerors instead of 2 up here. Makes sense. This drill took some shots, and now we are set with this. So ML90s going to be taking shots at us with the Conquerors. Shot comes in, does miss that. The Sheriff's Paris coming up. We're gonna put this BTR ZD on up here. Conqueror's taking a shot, misses the links. So we're gonna put him here. Oddball has a couple of Spetsnaz up here, which is gonna help. We get this MI-24 on the right side. We do get a Spetsnaz OP. I think Bartok really wanted a regular Spetsnaz, but we only brought in OPs. That's what we could. So that's a kind of unfortunate. EMD all the way back here. Unfortunately, we don't move it up. We do get a MiG-27, a rocket. So shots here. Spetsnaz taking shots. The Snapper Spetsnaz taking some shots as well. Starting to see the 12.7 though out here taking shots at the Spetsnaz and the Conquerors. We did bring in a Vasilik. I never had used it, so we're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna bring in a couple more units to take some shots here. But these, so many, so strong. EMD comes up with the autocannon, 30 mil, and we force it out of the space. Well, luckily the Conqueror's not hit a lot, but it is out of ammo. We are going to bring up some supply for it because we do need that. So a bunch of supply coming up. And I noticed that our units also take this path and come around here. So this is a vital reinforcement route that we have to protect. Bartok getting the MiG-29 over here just to see, I guess, to fly around, see what can happen. Try to suss out some stuff. AT comes in. Nice SU-17 strike on whatever that was. Looked like a tank, to be honest. Let's see. ATGM Jeep, actually. So spreading out the supply, getting our units up to speed. We have Nigla here. We have Estrella. What we're going to end up doing, though, is putting a supply hub for both pretty much myself and Oddball, so we can supply easier with him. We'll put a supply hub here. We'll both resupply off of it. That'll be one thing we'll do. Pull some Spetsnaz up. We pretty much are playing a lot of supply for him because he is going to have a lot of stuff in the middle coming at him. And it's a nice 2v2 over here. It essentially becomes a 2v2 in a way right here. So I'll bring in the SU-24. The LGBs coming in. There's a Stinger getting hit. Person to the left can take a couple of shots. One does hit, the second one does not. Or actually, the first one does not. And the second one hits. Abrams from 8th just outside this part. Oddball bringing up this command because he kind of has to do that at this point. Here comes the Vasilis from Oddball going to come in. We have a nice little spot here. So what we did here, these Spetsnaz, these three, these will have the incendiary rockets, and I didn't actually notice this. These should be actually the other ones. But we wanted to ensure that no infantry moves here. But then I think, like, sussing out the a tank push here, these would be useless. So I should have actually used the regular, probably Spetsnaz OP, but these Spetsnaz have more, so it's kind of a trade-off with that. Vasilis coming to actually look at the ML90, and this is, what is it, a car, I think? Oh, it's a little light wheel tank. So unfortunately, the issue with that is these wouldn't do a lot of damage to it in the first place. Infantry pushed by Bartok, chieftain by Spy. Spy is going to have a good shot in here, so we're going to have to push the gauntlet with that field. Elsewhere, Joe has pretty good Conquerors line, pretty good tanks with T-55 line on the left side, and starting to set up a line on the right. So heat it up. Some ATs here, Mi-24s. Too much standoff to ensure they can deal with a tank push, because they're going to be taking on tanks that are, at least Joe is. Joe is not going to have the greatest tanks with him at first. What he will have is a bunch of artillery. So here's the D-20 taking shots. PM-27 also going to take shots. That's how he's going to win on the left side. It's just straight raining artillery. And at one point he brings in like 5 or 6 more artillery pieces to try to tame any tank bushes that are on the left side. About holding this, we're going to start fortifying in this area. We're going to get a tank into Conquerors, pretty much make sure there's no pushes from here. One of the tanks will be around this area to ensure that if there's a push through this sector, it's going to be through this lane where all of these ATGMs are. And hilariously enough, these buildings get occupied and smashed down, so that ends up being what we can do. Here's more Spetsnaz coming in. The incendiary rockets. We get some Dusniki Metis as well. We're gonna get these in the buildings here, and we are gonna shore up our defenses along this line. Bartok getting some T-80s in here, trading some shots with the Chieftain. Both of those hits. The biggest thing with this is just the Cobra, so still good pen, but it's not going to be all the way through. The Conquers, just as long, just outside of range, but they do both miss. Alouette coming up, just wants to see what else is in there. The Cherapas, just there. Paris, probably mispronouncing that still. Moving up, waiting for it. Aethel bringing these tanks. Now, I never saw these tanks while they were here until they were in this tree line. So that's going to be important, because that is also going to call into account more Conquerors on this line. So Conquerors, this one's going to stay right here. And here comes Aethel through this. Here's the Abrams. All we have is really the Spetsnaz OP if he gets close enough, and the Conquerors firing. But what I didn't notice at the time is Bartok had good shots from the river, and he is actually taking some side shots. So it's good infiltrate. That one hits the side. Dusniki Metis going to take some shots. Conqueror's going to take some shots. Hit that Abrams. He's getting to a spot. This BMD pulls up. Abrams takes another shot, is stunned. I mean, if they really push this, they could have defeated our Conquerors here. Conqueror's taking another shot. That one's going to miss. Abrams is coming forward. Right here, I was in dire situation. So here is the other 2 Conquerors with a couple more in. Aethel comes in. He's going to come in with the HE. He's going to drop it down on this Conquerors. We don't kill that Abrams. This Conquerors goes down. So officially at this point, we have no ATGMs here. We are completely defenseless on this ATGM line. Smoke does come down. So this is a dire situation. We're going to bring in the MiG-27 rocket. Come in. We just want to kill one of these tanks. Killing one of these tanks is going to force him to come back, because he simply will not feel confident in this. The rocket comes down. That one goes down. It is going to, though, be killed by AA. Now we're gonna poke the Spetsnaz. Now the Spetsnaz doesn't have the ability to do anything because it is incendiary. But it does force Aethel to actually pull back. So in a way it does work. But he could have exploited that entirely in front. It is possible that with that Spetsnaz poking out, he thought there was more there. They'll sneaky metis. We're going to put this down here so we can see directly down the road. And there goes the Paris SAS. They're not going to get any there. We're going to put the separated Spetsnaz up here. Put the Conquerors this way. Get up an Mi-24 in case we need it. Kula AT in case they push. And then these BTRDs are going to come in and we're going to put more ATGMs. We're going to fill this with ATGMs. One here, and eventually I think also one here in the separate Spetsnaz building. Elsewhere, Joe still holding this line. Same thing with Oddball, still holding this line across. We're holding this line. We're pretty much holding this main road in a way, besides until we get to Joe. And it kind of tapers off. But we're centered around this main road. And you see Bartok as well is just getting, in case there's a push by Spy, he did see some units over in this area. He actually starts setting up defenses there before we do this. Our Spetsnaz over here doing some work with just probing, pulling back, probing, pulling back, and just messing around while Bartok gets situated. And there it is. Conquers in place. 2 Conquers. The BTRDs have Conquers of their own. There's 2 more. The Desniki Metis has Metis. This BMD is going to be put here. The autocannon. And so we are good to go in that area with that Kula AT. This Mi-24. We are set in this area. We're also going to pull up a couple Strellas and a bunch of supply. So Eagle comes in our side. Shots there. And those are, at least that one's dead. Akula taking a shot at the Chieftain. Does miss that. Chieftain in space though. A little bit poking out. Couple more. It is hit and does go down. Akula takes another shot. And I think that was at the Chieftain as well. So a good standoff Akula with the AT. Can see anything that comes in that forest from that position. And can see anything out there that comes through that. So that's good. As this ATGMs, we can just set it back there. It can't really be hit. And we're good. So Conquers M over here by Bartok now. Be able to see this space if they come across. Bartok now getting some T-80s up. Does take a shot at the Chieftain before it goes down, but that will not hit. In there, Bartok gets us a ticking score of 1. Being that space. Again, we're pretty much the supply hub of ourselves and Oddball, so he doesn't have to go all the way back to his depot. And he's just mainly getting his artillery up, but also his air. Whatever he needs up for those. So holding here, mech rifles come up of Aethel, and those get completely destroyed by the BTR-ZD, the BMD, and always. Shot there. The Conquers. More shots. But Abrams gets hit once. And it will not. It will not go down. Cool. Here's the push. We're just pushing to support here. So we're bringing in a bunch of aircraft because we are going to be launching an air assault on the left side. And this is just a cluster. All right, here we go. Seed coming in. Look at all this coming in. Bombs. So it goes down. But we just bomb a armored push on the left side there and stall Pete. So here's that T-64 taking out these two or at least this building and this one, which means when that T-64 sits over here, it has full view of everything that comes over here, including and that there's that building. So we pretty much make this as a no man's land. We ensure that they want to push, it's going to come down here or here. And we're content of playing through this space on this right side. At least me and Bartok are. On the left side, Joe with that severely hampers this hold by Pete, which will allow Joe to push with those T-55s. They're also pushing this middle portion between zones. Conquers there. I mean, it's the weakest part of the push, but a lot of ATGMs, a lot of issues to deal with that. I've kind of learned if you want to deal with this, you need to smoke it out and push. Or just be overwhelming, because now Joe's bringing in his T-80s of his T-55s. He's going to push across his T-55s while his T-80 support. And that's going to be a good one. So we only lost one, I think, because we had two MiG-27s. So we'll save that with a push on the right side. We're getting this to cool it down. Here is Oddball getting all of his stuff kind of sorted. And here's an infantry push, a Bartok, and we are going to somewhat assist with this Spetsnaz. Aircraft coming in left side. It is the Eagle, and it's not going to be hit. Su-24 with the missiles comes in. Gonna look at the seed. Seed is going to go through a literal hellfire of AA here. But it's going to survive somehow. And we do lose that aircraft. Joe does. We're still holding here. We're gonna bring in a couple more Strela because those two aircraft survived. What we're gonna do is put two Strela here, two Strela here, and just make sure that if an aircraft loops around like that again, it'll go over ours here or here, and if they push over here, they'll hit it. Here's Oddball's push. Also has some Tunguskas. He's gonna flood this space and hit this counterattack that Pete's doing. We're good on the air wing. We're bringing in SU-25 and our last SU-20 or SU, our MiG-27 rockets. We see this. We're gonna bring in our SU-25. These M1A1HAs coming in. Abrams, Milan. I mean, this is a combined push by Ethel and Pete. And here comes the response with 2 T-80s. Here comes the AT. We're gonna cut it in. Unfortunately, the F-15 is gonna see it and it's gonna easily strike it down with that last missile before it gets shot down. So unfortunately, we don't save that. Sherlock coming up. And we're gonna buy this other SU-25, the last one that we have. So shots here with the T-80UD going on the Engineer's Dragon. And this is one of the issues when you're pushing up infantry. You need a lot of vehicle support. And what do? Well, we concentrate the vehicles. Conkers takes that down. There's no more tanks over here. And now it's just a field day for the T-80s from range to deal with those. The Mirage comes in. Doesn't do much. Bartok pretty much getting forces associated and ready to push. The Sakula, we pushed it off after getting it repaired. We're going to put it up here and we're going to assault that position. Bartok is pulling up some BMP-2AGs, a T-80, some Strellas, so he's getting ready to push here. Good hold here if we get flanked. And we are ready to go. SU-25 comes in. Does get one unit, I think, maybe.
Warning.
Seed comes in. Thing is, there isn't a lot of stuff that has radar over here. And here's Joe with the artillery. There's 3 pieces. He's bringing up more. He's going to end up having 6 pieces. And he's just going to hit anything he sees that's stationary. Getting ready for this. Kind of a lull in the combat. But we have a ticking score of 1. We're pretty content with this. I don't know how we have a ticking. Because that's 1. That's 2. This is 2. This is 1. This is 1. This is 1. This is 2. And that's 2. So I don't know how we have 1. But I'm not going to complain about it. So we're going to come in and hit and use the Vasilis. I really prefer the Nona, which we will bring in later. But I believe the Nona is much better at killing infantry. Bartok has a couple of them right here. So they have the howitzer, the 120. And so that's much better than the 82 mil from the Vasilis. So I do actually enjoy that. Little pirates coming in here. I mean, these are Gatling guns, so. And the Gazelle cannon. They're here, but I mean, that's gonna be absolutely destroyed by any aircraft. Seed coming in with an AT. Pete, hitting that Tunguska. AT, it's that T-80UD, but hits it in the front armor. So it does not hit the side. Now, if Pete would have brought it in from the side here and raked it across and pulled out this way, not only would that F-16 would have been good, because maybe the Shelk is the only thing here, but and maybe he does come over the Strela and maybe the Cub over here in the book, which is turned off. Maybe he gets hit by the Strela, but he takes that T-80UD. But since he hit it right in the front armor, he only took half damage. Su-22 actually takes out a lot of those Puma pirates. That's a good bit there. Mirage taking shots, and now the couple of AA, one of them being a Harrier and the other one being a Fighting Falcon. That's an Su-27 that's severely gonna have issues. He does hit the Harrier before it goes down. Harrier will be gone for a while, but it's not gonna do anything. Now here's our push. We hit all of the tanks, and from here we're going. We brought in a rocket, we brought in this MiG-27, HE, 2 of them, and the laser guided bomb. The only thing that's left here is the AML-90, and here it is. Bartok through the open air, and we are to hold his flank. Rocket doing work. Nighthawk coming in, that goes down because we have other aircraft in the air. That goes down, so we lose our LGB. T-64 is going to take a shot, get engine. That rocket is going to hit the side of the Abrams before it actually takes out an ATGM. We do lose a T-64. Here's our other T-64. Our Akula is sitting right there, taking shots from the ERC. Menace takes a shot, misses. If I wish I would have seen that. Puma came to work because that is a supply spot. They're supplying everything here and they're supplying everything here. But the Motor Striking Menace sees it and destroys it. Shots here. The Akula starts taking shots at the Recon. That's down. More seed coming in from Athel here. He's trying to push these Abrams. Man Pete is. Seed actually hits that next to the Strela, but Seed doing work. Book does not get a shot on it. So good hold and push by Joe on the left side, getting on the flank of Pete, kind of putting him off balance a little bit. AML showing. You got the Paris here, gonna push up. I mean, if it wants to push up, it's gonna get absolutely destroyed at this point because these Sapari. All right, Bartok pushing in these woods. These woods became an absolute menace for both. We push in, we clear them out, they clear us out, we clear them out, they clear us out. It turned into a back and forth. T-64 coming up, getting side shots at anything that comes down this road. Got a couple of kills. We're gonna move it up to this edge. We know Spy could be up here, so we don't want to go up in this area. No recon though to tell us if there's anything up here. We're gonna keep doing this, keep holding. We get hits. Actually, that misses. We're gonna open up on the recon here. It's gonna hit us one. We do get a low cohesion. We do return fire. We are returning fire. We do take one tick of damage before the T-64 takes it down. Akula sitting up here. The Semi-24 we should have put over here so we can see. This Akula is healing. It's not all the way done yet. This Conqueror starts getting hit because it can be seen by the Paris here. We aren't going to move it because I don't see it, so that's going to die. It's unfortunate. Okay. And we are good. We are good in all locations. Bring up another T-64. We're going to bring up a couple more Conquers. We're going to put one here. We're going to put one here. We're going to conquer this all the way up. Akula AT. We want to get some shots. We're going to pull it back. We do bait a couple of shots that doesn't actually hit it. And the Akula does have bad stealth. ECM though is 20, so there's that. PVADs, we see them on the right side, and we are going to pull back our T-64 at some point because we know that we see this Gazelle hot. I'm thinking we need to bring this T-64 back because this Gazelle is going to take a shot. Bunch of tanks here, and this is where Joe is going to put as much artillery as possible on that. So we're holding up. Funny part is this BTRs. I could just bring them straight across. They're amphibious. So there's that. So I'm waiting for all of these things. Here they go. They're all starting to all fire at different positions. So killing the supply first before you start taking on the tanks. How about losing a couple tanks there? On the right side, the T-64 does get hit by one of the chieftains. The chieftains pushed up. We're going to move up this T-64. Bartok's got his T-80. This T-64 is going to get just successively shot by the chieftain. ATGM coming in. We'll hit the PVIDs. And this T8 is going to come through. Take a shot there at that chieftain. Take one shot. Be able to kill it. And it evades the Mirage 2000. Shots coming in from the T-80 on the chieftain. And chieftain does score a hit to retreat it. We move up our Mi-24 just to push this chieftain out so Bartok doesn't lose a T-80. Here is the Conquers. We haven't put them out yet. We're going to pull in more. We're going to pull in our HE aircraft in this. And we're going to pull it in. What we're going to do is we're going to put all of these on the PVADs. So from here, the Mi-24s can get closer. We'll see what we actually get. Those are released in. Those will actually end up hitting. These HE actually don't drop. It is going to get hit and likely killed because there's a lot of AA over here. So that's unfortunate. But it does allow a push up of the helos. I said, hey, I hit them. They're in full retreat. Here comes Joe with the Mi-24. So we're going to fill that gap. But also Oddball knew that it was down. Now Oddball is going to come in. Here's the rockets. We're just going to go straight air cover. Two of them go down. And that kind of defeats that push. So again, a Conquerors was lost out of this building. We're going to put two more Conquerors in and put these robots right next to them. The BTRs. Bartok, small push coming across the field. Going to test that. This F4 just absolutely insane over here. It has very good agility. 40 ECM. Does finally take a shot. It's just... I'm just not sure what is going on there. That dies. Artillery starts coming on the supply. So that's one of the biggest things I do is you want to target supply so they can't hold. Abrams there does take a shot before it is able to retreat from this Conquerors. And now what we're going to do is we're going to hold supply behind this at all times. So if there's any tanks that come through, they will get healed and held. T-80 here. Bartok's gonna push up. And we are holding another lull. A little bit of a 165. This is more of an infantry killer with the M728. Madman Pete moving across this. A lot of good recon here by Oddball. Being able to see. I got more and more proficient also with recon myself. And now what are we going to do? Bartok's pushed. It's our turn. A bunch of BMDs with Thessaloniki in it. And then backed up by 2 T-64s. We're going to put them here. Bartok's softening up a little bit of what he sees. We're going to put them all online. And we're going to push them up. And we are going to assault the forest. The biggest thing is while we do this, we are ensuring that they can't get enough mass to attack us. Because right now we still have a ticking war score 1. So at this point, they have to push us out of here. Or push us out of here. Or get something in this position back here. So here comes a big exchange. T-80 getting a couple hits on it. This T-80 starts moving back. He starts moving back completely. We're going to start using our Basilisk and start putting some shots on the Milans and the Wombats. That Milan, though, is down. The Wombat here. Well, the rifles are going to take the shots. Not going to kill them. Over here, starting to see Abrams trying to pop across with the M1A1A Cav. It does have some recon. Joe countering with the T-64, and this T-80 is only on 1. It's likely going to be, if it's hit by this, it's dead. It does get hit. Doesn't matter if it's a side shot because it's down. T-64 takes 3 shots before it's able to smoke off. The 4th shot does miss. Two Abrams that I did not see until I actually committed to this. I should have actually saw this. We were getting good shots from this Conquerors, I think. Now the BMT-2 opens up, but it's not going to hit it. I should have thought about the fact of smoking this off to ensure that these Abrams can't actually affect this. But I was too eager to move across. So here we go. Online. Let's go. Supported by the T-64s. Artillery takes out that Wombat. And here we go. Are we ready for this? Tied to HUD. And here it goes. The great push. ATGM's coming over on the left side here from the Milan. We are going to get out the infantry. This Thessaloniki move up. BMD is hit. This Milan's here. I asked Bartok to smoke this off, but we actually won't get it fast enough, so I'll have to bring up the BDM, the BMDs, to hit the Milans. We are getting hit by another ATGM that's back there. Abrams starts opening up. The Seagate starts opening up. So all of the vehicles are pretty much down, except the 3 on the right side. BMP-2 goes down. Thessaloniki, we're going to use this as a target. Here comes the smoke. And here's Thessaloniki. Moving up. Unfortunately, there's no like buildings back here, so what we're trying to do is just take this road. T-64s are taking targets of opportunity shots. BMP-2 over here taking some shots. I should have moved up this Akula right here so it can take some shots on these. HE comes in, does get a shot there. That does go down. So at least we do kill one Abrams. Now their counter push was absolutely destroyed by T-64s, this BMD, this Mi-24. Like, that's just not going to work. So we actually caught them in a possible counter push. They were getting ready to push. We pushed into them, took out one of their flanks, but they can only push through, and then we defeated their attack. So that Abrams goes down. On the opposite side, a bunch of Abrams facing a bunch of Conquerors. Joe coming in with a bunch of T-55s. There's just so many ATGMs that Pete starts seeing his command up here. This Apache is up here as well. The issue is Joe doesn't have any decent AA, and I should have moved the Strela over here. So at this point, the push has failed. We're going to pull back to this road in this tree line and just hold a line. This Mi-24 is just going to pound anything that takes a peek out of that forest, and we're going to be down back here again. We're going to have to reload everything. The Mi-24K VP is fine. The Akula is fine. We have two Akulas back here. And we are in a situation where no one's going to come in this field. No one's going to come across this. And if they try to come a flank through here, it's going to be absolutely pummeled as well. So we have a good stagnation right now. Here comes the push on the left. This Apache, though, is going to cause a lot of issues, though. The Eagle is just not enough. T-55 pushed by Joe, and here comes the shots. C-Knight comes in. So, I mean, there's enough here and a bunch of Cobras. At this point, there's a lot of helos that they could have swept us off on the left side. But here comes Bartok with the MiG-29. Trying to go for that Apache. He hurts it, but there's so many PVADs there. Shilka starts opening up on the Cobras, and that should be a warning. We're going to bring up a bunch of... I mean, this is all we have is man pads in the anti-air vehicles. But at this point, still with 6 minutes, this is done if they don't get anything. Push over here. We're going to move an Akula over here just to clean this up. Alouette moving up. That gets killed by the Strelas. This Alouette wants to move up as well. It gets taken down by, I think that was an Igla. We're holding. We're going to resupply helos. Abrams here is engined, and it will die from a Agona from a T-64. So I'm going to move this Mi-24 up in this space. It's all I can actually spare at this point to hold any push on the left. We bring up another Strela, so we do have an extra Strela. We're gonna bring that up. We bring in our Nonas. When we start hitting the Milans here. So it's good all the way around. We're gonna try to use the... We tested out the auto orders and I didn't think they were all that great. I felt like I could do it a lot better. The no-nos, you wouldn't want that because maybe I would want them for smoke. All right, T-64. Taking shots on Engineer Dragon. And there's that Akula AT that we moved over. Pretty much we're in a situation where we're just holding areas. So that Strela is there to ensure those Cobras don't do anything. We can just make a line of Iglas. Joe's getting ready to push. And here we go. A lot of artillery coming down on those Abrams just sitting there. A lot of ATGMs. Oddball puts a command in that space and I try to smoke it off. So I do smoke off him against the biggest threat, which is the Abrams. But that will be your ball game. So a lot of support more than anything, pushing in other people's lanes. So that's why we do have a good amount of kills with this. Third to most. Joe was over there just in a lot of fighting. We didn't have the least amount of losses. That was Bartok though. But that was a decent one there. So looking through this, pretty good with the MiG. The Akula, I expect a lot of our aircraft, our kilos, to do good work. Akula had some good stuff there. MiG-25 came in, bombed a couple of units, including a Mistral Paris and a Stinger. Conquerors took out an Abrams, an ITV. Okay. This MiG-27. I really like the rockets at this point. The rockets are much more reliable, obviously, than the ATGM types or the Mavericks or anything like that on NATO. I've been using them a lot and they actually get some good kills. This T-64 did some good work there on the right side. This Akula is pretty good. I think this was the Thessaloniki that was on the right side that we pushed. Our command took down the F-111, so that's why we ended up moving it. So that was a pretty good game. 49 minutes on rocks. And we put it together, mostly carried by everyone else in the team. But hey, we helped out. I'm still learning the game. Still learning. And I'm getting better every match. So thanks for hanging out. Go leave a like below, comments, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Later.